Shalom. I want to begin a lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahakodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Back here with another lesson through the spirit. Peace and salutations to the brothers and the brothers out there pushing this truth. And peace and salutations to you few sisters out there who are also following the truth. It's your brother Ratazak Gabar back here with another lesson through the spirit. I'm in transit right now. And as I always say in my lessons, man, it's a lot of things going on, right? It's a lot of different topics we can talk about. I don't have anything specific that I'm going to talk about in this lesson until I get to my destination. But I'm going to see if I can find something. Oh, yeah. Something in the news, you know what I'm saying, that's worth talking about, which it always is. But nonetheless, the first thing I see is mass layoffs are hitting. And I've mentioned this in my lessons before, you know, trying to find jobs and things of that nature. And actually, you could tie this even into what I did my lesson on yesterday, which is, you know, the American people being sorrowful in this kingdom, you know what I'm saying, being down in this kingdom, right? Because of how hard it is to live in this kingdom that we're in right now, you know. It is very hard to live and even thrive or anything in this kingdom for multiple reasons, and this is one of the reasons, man. People are losing their jobs, you know what I'm saying? Jobs are being cut, and multiple people, thousands, hundreds, thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are being affected by this, right? You know, I seen I always see, what's the word I'm looking for? Graphics like this, where it'll say on the internet that working 40 hours a week now is it sustainable to live comfortably in this kingdom, right? It's not enough. I also see things like I seen something yesterday that said if you're an individual living by yourself, and you have no kids and no partner or anything like that, you have to make over $100,000 just to live modestly, which is insane. You look at the things that's going on, right? The price of goods are going up. The price of goods are going up day by day, which is another thing that makes it hard to live here. So the price of things are going up. People are also losing their jobs. Then on top of that, companies aren't hiring. It's extremely hard to get a job nowadays if it's not already being taken away by AI, or if the company isn't listing a job that isn't really available, because, you know, they were doing that as well, man, listing jobs that were not available. So as the scriptures read, man, 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, you know what I'm saying, those times are they're knocking on the door, man. It's just gonna get even harder from here. It's not gonna get any better. And that's what we're trying to warn y'all about. But see, you have those people who still forbear, which that's just the spirit that the Lord put on you. The Lord put the spirit on you to not listen and not take heed. So if that's your case, then that is what it is. But we're still gonna sound the trumpet at the end of the day, because that's our job. It says 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, this know also, Salakia, that in the last days perilous times shall come, right? So as the days go on and on, they're going to get increasingly harder and harder to live. Increasingly harder to live, man. Like I said, the price of goods is going up. Tariffs aren't helping, right? You have war going on. I was watching a video about the stages in the collapse of a kingdom. Let me see if I can pull it up. And it was talking about previous kingdoms before this kingdom, and how they all fell. I also watched a video on Alexander of Macedon last night as well, just to sharpen my knowledge. But nonetheless, though, all right. So I watched. It says the empire collapse pattern: Rome, Spain, Britain, USA is next. It didn't really go into like Greek or anything like that, but it mainly was talking about those are Edomite kingdoms that is really talking about, and how they fell. Not necessarily the biblical ones. I could go into that, talking about Daniel chapter 2, which I mentioned in my lesson yesterday as well. But this is a good video. I'm not gonna play it, but this is the title of it. It says the empire collapse pattern: Rome, Spain, Britain, USA is next. And it just talked about the different patterns between these empires, how they rose and how they fell, and the stages that it took. And I think it was like 8 stages, and they said America was like approaching 6, or like on 6 or something like that. But another thing that revolves around that, economic or empire collapse, has to deal with money. They just, I want to say, one of those European countries, it might have been Europe, or one of the European Union countries, right? One of the countries in the EU said that they're completely done with the dollar as of 2028, and that's even if we make it that far. I think it was 2028 or 2027. There's something going on with euros, right? So the dollar has increasingly been losing its value for the past few years now. I mean, not even the past few years, but the past few decades. It just started to become more evident in the past few years. As I always say, man, the United States has been on a decline since about the 50s or the 60s. And even going into the 70s, with, the elder Abba Bivens coming on the scene, right? That struck a fire as well. Nonetheless, though, the U.S. dollar, the U.S. currency holds no value, and that's not a good thing. And on top of that, they continue to print money, and on top of that, the national debt keeps increasing. So there's a lot of factors that play into this downfall. It's not just one thing or because of one person. It's a collective effort as a whole. Now, is Donald Nero Trump helping the collapse in a major way? Yes. He is helping in a major way. But it's not completely on him. And at the end of the day, it's not on men at all, right? They're just playing their roles in the story. They're just playing their roles in the movie. This is all that the Lord's doing, first and foremost, as it reads in the book of 2nd Esdras, man. The Lord declared the end from the beginning. The Lord declared the end from the beginning. So whether you're a part of it or not, or whether you hold a major role in it or not, the Lord already knew how the world was going to end and who he was going to use to bring it to come to pass, and all of these other different things, right? But see, you won't be able to understand that if your spirit can't receive it. But it says that in the scriptures, man. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. That's in the book of Ecclesiastes. So we're seeing the end and the collapse of a wicked and a sinful kingdom, as it reads, man. A sinful kingdom. And if anything, if you're an Israelite, like my pop says, like Hadab Yarbar says, he says, that's the best thing you got going for you, because that's the only way you can even receive salvation. Number one is if you're an Israelite, but more importantly, number two, if you're of the elect of the house of Israel, the 1/3, the innumerable multitude, as well as the 144,000 mighty men, right? Lord willing, we be at that number. But that's the best news you can ever get in this kingdom, is that you're an Israelite. Yet, our people, man, They don't get it. You don't get it, do you? The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 8, it says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord, the Most High Power Yahweh, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh." Right? Like I just said. The things that these people do, man, like I said, these people are so damn wicked, it's insane. Like, you learn something new about them every day, and it's almost like, how could you top what I just heard about you? How could you top that quick? They said that they was spraying rabies, V stuff in the air, through plane, through automobile, through car. Like, what would possess a group of people to do that? Like I say though, they're playing their role. And their role, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, was appointed to be the wicked of the earth. It's still insane to think of the fact that and that just comes with, you know what I'm saying, much study is weariness of the flesh. With you know what I'm saying, more wisdom comes more sorrow, roughly paraphrasing. The fact that they are actively killing us and the things that we eat and consume and put in our body. That's why the elders stress. That's another reason, not just for that simple fact, for other beneficial reasons, why the elder apostles stress that you fast, right? I went on a 48-hour fast the other day and felt the best I'd ever felt. You feel better when you don't got no food on your stomach. Now, as I say this, I am going to go get me some food. I haven't ate in almost 24 hours now. Probably like going on between 16 and 20 hours. I haven't ate. Nonetheless, though, there's nothing wrong with eating. But that fasting, man, it definitely will change your life. So, it's a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, that we waiting to come to pass. And Lord willing, we see those things come to pass in this year coming up, Salaki. In this year coming up, man. So, as the days go on and on, you know what I'm saying, we continue to prophesy and speak things from the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, break it down through sincerity, Lord willing, and through discernment. And Lord willing, they keep continuing to come to pass. So people can see that the things that we've been bringing out and the things that we've been saying and the reason why we go on the highways and the byways and the hedges week in and week out is not for no reason, right? The things that we're saying are truthful and that they are sure to come to pass, right? It's just, like I always say, man, this is not a joke. This is spiritual warfare we're in. This is life or death. This is not nothing to play around with. And it's damn sure nothing to take for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, man, if you've been called, if the Lord have chosen you out of the flock, the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua for that. But if the Lord have chosen you out of the flock, man, you know what I'm saying? Use your abilities, your skills, your talents, and it's not from you. It's from the Heavenly Father. It's not from you. It's from Yahweh Yahushua to use that right and edify and wake up the hopeful elect. So Lord willing, we could get up out of this place, because don't no brother want to stay here no longer than they have to, right? And when the Lord sees it fit, goddamn, it's like it. And when the Lord sees it fit, man, He gonna send His only begotten Son back down here, Yahweh. He's gonna bring forth His vengeance and salvation for His saints, the Israelites, the elect, the holy ones, the holy people. So let's continue doing what we're doing, man. And as I always say, endure to the end. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. with that, I'm going to close it off there. I've made it to my destination safely through Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Actually about to be headed back home. So Lord willing, I'll be able to, Lord willing, I will be able to fellowship with the brothers back in St. Louis tomorrow at camp. But with that being said, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom.